Bonjour friends and welcome to a new vlog. Today I'm taking you along on a little weekend getaway to the Baie de Somme, one of the most peaceful and charming places in northern France. First stop, Saint-Valery-sur-Somme, a lovely town with winding streets, colourful facades and a soft sea breeze that instantly makes you slow down. Before exploring, we stopped for lunch at a restaurant called L'Embarcadère, just across from the vintage steam train and the tiny old train station. We were served a little amuse-bouche, toasted bread with a tuna rillette made with cream cheese, mustard and a touch of mayonnaise. Simple, but oh so tasty. For starter, I had a dish of crab meat with tomatoes and a beetroot whipped cream. I realized crab isn't my favorite, so my partner was more than happy to finish it for me. As for the main course, I went for a burger, which was honestly a bit boring, but I was craving something meaty. My partner chose mussels, of course. It's always a treat when we're near the sea. I skipped dessert this time and I just enjoyed a refreshing mint tea with a little biscuit. We were lucky to finish just in time to see the steam train leave. It was so beautiful and almost cinematic with all the steam rising into the air. The sound startled my daughter, so I held her close to reassure her, which is why that clip might be a little unbalanced, but I still love that moment. While taking the train is a lovely way to explore the coast, it was quite expensive, so we decided instead to take it slow, enjoy the town, and wander on foot just the way we like it. Saint-Valery-sur-Somme is a medieval town with roots dating back to Roman times. It's famously known as the port from which William the Conqueror set sail for England in 1066. The town was once a bustling hub for fishing and trade, and today it charms visitors with its preserved old town, cobbled street, and sweeping view of the bay. On the way up, we passed a stunning building covered in wisteria. The flowers were in full bloom, their scent gently filling the air. At the top, we discovered an old church and a panoramic view of the bay below. But I couldn't resist going back to the wisteria, especially as the crowds had thinned. It looked like a scene from a fairy tale, and of course, we took plenty of photos before heading to the house we rented. We stayed in a charming little country house nestled in a small village just 10 minutes from Saint-Valery. The surroundings were absolutely breathtaking, and I couldn't wait to head out for a walk in nature. The house itself was cozy and so thoughtfully decorated. It had everything you could need for a restful countryside escape. I especially loved the blend of vintage and modern touches. Many of the pieces were thrifted and so beautifully chosen. It felt like a warm, lived-in home with so much character. Upstairs were the bedrooms, and the children's room was such a delight, filled with toys that instantly caught my daughter's attention. She could have spent the whole day in there playing. Just next to the house were a few friendly donkeys, and only 50 meters away, a tiny farm with chickens, ducks and goats. It felt like we'd stepped in a pastoral painting. Later in the afternoon, we set off on a countryside walk, and it was everything I love. The quiet, the stillness, it gave me such Pride and Prejudice feelings. I couldn't help but think of Lizzie Bennet, and yes, just like her, I am very fond of walking. I could have wandered there for hours. It truly felt like a dream, part Austen, part fairy tale, and so soothing. I just let my mind drift and breathe. On our way back, we stopped by the donkeys to say hello once more, and then it was time for a cozy homemade dinner and some well-earned rest before the next day's adventures. The next day was bright with the sun, and since we woke up early, my daughter and I decided to visit the farm and say hello to a friendly donkey. We returned to Saint-Valery for lunch at La Pêcherie, a cozy restaurant with a lovely atmosphere. The menu was full of unique regional dishes, some I had never even heard of, which of course made me all the more curious to try them. For the main course, I chose a fish waterzooi, a traditional Flemish dish made of tender fish simmered in a creamy broth with vegetables. But the dessert truly stole the show, a rabotte picarde, a typical pastry from the region. It's a whole apple wrapped in flaky dough, lightly sweetened and baked to golden perfection. It was just the right amount of sweetness and felt so rustic and heartwarming. After lunch, we drove to another coastal town, Mers-les-Bains. Originally, we had planned to spend some time on the beach so our daughter could play, but sadly, we could not access it. Instead, we strolled through the town and admired its stunning architecture. Mers-les-Bains is known for its Belle Époque villas, colorful facades and ornate balconies. It's like stepping back in time to a seaside resort from the early 1900s. Later in the day, we made our way to Cayeux-sur-Mer, where the beach is covered with smooth pebbles and opens onto a calm, endless bay. My daughter was delighted playing with the stones, and we were all thrilled to spot a seal swimming peacefully in the sea. It was a tiny moment of magic. In the evening, after dinner, we just sat by the window to admire the beautiful nature view and listen to the sound of the countryside and the animals from the forest. Our last day was a rainy one, but that didn't stop us from saying goodbye to the animals, especially the donkeys who had become our little neighbors over the weekend. We headed back to Saint-Valery for one last walk along the boardwalk and a farewell lunch in town. This time we tried a restaurant called Le Jardin, and it turned out to be our favorite meal of the entire trip. I loved the green modern decor. It felt fresh, cozy and welcoming. They served water in the most charming yellow fish-shaped jug, and now I absolutely want one just like it for our home. The food was delicious, refined yet comforting, and I appreciated that they served children the same dishes as adults, just in smaller portions. I ended the meal by sharing a dessert with my partner, a brownie with custard cream. I'm not the biggest fan of brownies, but I adore custard, and it was just the right balance. After lunch, we strolled through le Courtgain, the old fisherman's quarter. This charming part of Saint-Valery is made up of small, colorful houses, some of them even dating back to the 18th century, originally inhabited by sailors and their families. The area has kept its authentic, lived-in feel. We followed the road uphill to the Monument aux Marins Disparus, a tribute to sailors lost at sea. From up there, the view was breathtaking. Rooftops tumbling down to the bay and hundreds of sheep grazing peacefully in the distance. And just like that, our weekend getaway in the Baie de Somme came to a close, full of quiet beauty, sweet discoveries, and the gentle rhythm of slow exploration. Thanks for watching my video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more. À bientôt!